What's up, guys? It's Alex Saint, aka Lord Saint, and I am back with what I do best, an Anthurium repotting video. The Anthurium we're going to be featuring today is an Anthurium Black Beauty by Barry Schwartz that is extremely tired of my shenanigans and is ready for a repot. Just so you can see, you get an idea of what the foliage looks like. This is what should be a big boy, but clearly I have neglected it in a sense where I've just kind of let it do its thing and I haven't given it a repot. But today we're going to repot it, and I've gone back and forth with two ways I could repot this, if you will, or upsize the pot. It's clearly we could just grab a larger pot, or I could chop this right here, because we know that these aerial roots are just, and we'll call them aerial roots, are just fantastic, and they're beautiful, and I'm sure it'll flourish, but I don't think it's enough to sustain this. I think the plant will decline if I just chop it and throw it into another mix. And I want to give it an opportunity to do what it was intended to do, and that's shine, be great. So we're going to up pot this into a much larger clear pot, and we're going to use a different mix that I have mentioned before. Now, before we talk about this mix, I just want to make sure everybody understands this video is not sponsored. I'm not affiliate of this company yet, we'll say. Maybe by the time I post this video, something will change, but I've talked about it before in my repotting of my Forgetii. We'll talk about that. We'll do a recap of that now that I'm back on another video. But the mix worked great. The ingredients, the plants seem to enjoy in the shade house. So that's what we're gonna use today. So again, this is the Black Beauty, Anthurium Black Beauty by Barry Schwartz. I've had this since seedling, tiny little thing, and it has grown clearly, but I can't let it go into the new season in the next few months like this. We're gonna have to upgrade it. So let's get right to it. You guys can still see me there, right? This is a nice feed. No, that's a little much. There we go, much better. Okay, so the mix we're gonna use today is these pre-mixes from Veryplants. Now, I actually had the pleasure of running into Veryplants at TPIE, which was in Fort Lauderdale, and had a conversation with them. They actually sent me these a while back, and I gave it a try on the last Anthurium repot that I had, or one of the last Anthurium repots that I had, which was the Anthurium Forgetii. And that Anthurium Forgetii is doing great. So I have no issues with this. So I know this works for my shade house. I know it works for my setting. So I take Molly's succulent mix and I mix that with Molly's aeroid mix. And this just gives me the happy medium that I need for very well draining, but that hint of water retention that I need out here in the shade house. Like I said, if you guys have been watching my video, if you haven't, go catch up. But you know that this is all just fabric. When it rains down here in South Florida, we get the brunt of the rain season, and it can rain every single day for a long time. So I need a fast draining mix for my plants to thrive in this environment, in this setting. But I also need a little bit of water retention to make sure that they're not just dry all the time, all day. So let's go ahead, let's get started. I have a little bit of this pre-mix, but we're gonna mix a little bit more because I think I'm gonna need a bit more. So let's put some of this in there, which is the succulent mix. Let's see. And then let's crack into that aeroid mix. Oh yeah, two completely different things. And then let's just give it a good mix up. All right, All right, I think we're good with that. So there, we can see what this mix looks like. And it should be just enough for me to fill the remainder of this clear pot. And before you ask me where I get this, I will put it down in the description below. So you don't need to ask, just look in the description. I will tell you where to get these pots, and I'll tell you where you can get Veryplants mix as well. All right. This is a little dry too, jeez. I mean, I separated it a few days ago from the other plants to market as ready for repot. And I'm not gonna disturb this. I'm gonna leave it exactly as it is. I'm not gonna do anything to this. I'm just gonna, let's fit it. I got plenty to go around in a new pot. Actually up top here, no, we'll go consistent the whole way through. So this is what it's gonna look like in the new pot. So let's put a base layer, just scoop this in here as such. This is our base layer. Let's just see where we're at. Let's move a little bit out of the base layer, height-wise. Okay. Now the goal for this is I'm gonna give these roots a nice setting to grow. And later on, what I'll do is the next time I'm gonna repot this, I'm just gonna chop and then I'll make 2 plants out of this. That's my goal. Now I do have another Black Beauty, different features, but can you ever have too many plants? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. So we're good there. Good thing is with this and upsizing in this pot, I'm not gonna have to poke or do anything to this because there's enough room on the sides for it to just fill itself. And as I say this, I don't want to forget, let's get some pellets. And I had to re-up. And I always tell you guys what I use is Osmocote slow release pellets. These work for me. I've been using them. If you use something else, just let me know down in the comment section below if you're using something else. I use, like I said, Osmocote slow release pellets. It's 6 months of treatment, outdoor and indoor. And I normally fill this with my mix in addition to liquid fertilizer that I use. Now, because I'm not using any soil or anything, and this stuff is really fast draining, out here and inside too, my interior plants, it's normal for me to use liquid fertilizer every watering or every other watering, depending on how many waterings I need. So generally once a week, I'm using some type of liquid fertilizer in addition to any slow release, such as Osmocote that I'm using. Like it's just what works for me. Now, if you're using some type of soil or something else that's packed with fertilizer already, obviously you don't need to do all that, but none of the ingredients that I use are packed with fertilizer already. And these Anthurium do get hungry, and out here with all the rain, like I said, it's a constant flush. So I like to use Osmocote and a slow release and a liquid fertilizer. So we got some in there. We'll add some more. Let's continue to now fill the top of this. Okay. Add a bit more. Massage that into there so it gets underneath. And we're good. Like I said, I don't need to do much. Maybe a good tap the side. Let that settle. And then the most that I will add to this is I'll add just a bit more cocoa chips towards the top, just to surround the remainder of these arrowroots at the top. I'll pack it in. Sometimes I use a cup like a solo cup. I'll cut it in half, surround it, and then drop more, so I make sure this is sitting in a nice chunky mix without it just slipping over the sides here. But yeah, this is good enough. And we're done. That's what I love. I love these repots because they're actually very quick. And I feel so guilty whenever I do them because I should have done this a long time ago. This plant needed this a long time ago. But regardless, it has still blessed us with beautiful foliage like we're seeing here. So I'm excited for what this plant is going to do now that it's settled, or it will settle into its new home. We're going to give it a deep watering before we put it back on its spot on the bench here, and then we're good to go. That's it. Black Beauty, new home. If you have any questions, make sure to drop a comment down below. If you're glad I'm back, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends and family. And I'll see you guys on the next one.